Alright guys, welcome to yet another episode of CIA or Crypto in Africa. And of course this episode is dedicated to news, education and everything cryptocurrency and blockchain in Africa and the rest of the world, and of course vice versa. Now, in today's article discovered on the bitcoiners.com is Bitcoin ownership in the UK is surprisingly low. This is a new survey that was actually revealed by a cryptocurrency blog called Crypto Radar. So it's showing that there's a high Bitcoin apathy within the UK, but this is for people of the retirement age. So I think that really makes some fair sense that 67.5 of UK citizens have no interest in Bitcoin. Those people being, of course, only the people within retirement ages. That's like from 60 years right until, you pass away, unfortunately. So according to the details of the survey as published by Crypto Radar, only 5.3% of the 2,500 participants own Bitcoin. So I think that's actually quite interesting that the technology or the awareness of the technology can reach up to such a generation so far in terms of generations, right? I mean, these are people that are about to, like I said, some have left their jobs, some are just now sitting there looking after their grandchildren and stuff like that. And for them to even know, just for just that tiny percent to even know about this new technology says something about its potential, right? And then of course there's just a little graph showing exactly the kind of responses or results that they got from their survey based on what they were looking for. So of course the biggest one with 67.5 is that people do not own any Bitcoin and are not planning to buy any, of course. And then the smallest percentage, which is those that mostly are actually familiar with Bitcoin but also are planning to buy more, and they're actually already owning more. I mean, they're already owning some coins. So that's quite fair. And yeah, so that was one of the researches that was made by this company. There was actually other companies that also made a couple of research based on, cryptocurrency awareness within the UK. And but again, it pointed out, like here it says on this article, on this paragraph of the article, that Bitcoin volatility aside, global negative yielding debt is north of 17 billion. Plus, there is an argument to be made that BTC provides a hedge against the growing. I think that's more of like a financial, um, you know, statement. But this point is actually what I'm looking for, which is that on the other end of the spectrum, the research spectrum, is that the reality appears flipped with a significant number of male respondents between 35 and 44 years of age keen on increasing their Bitcoin ownership. Commenting on the results, Crypto Radar chief Amine Rahal remarked that regardless of its enormous volatility, Bitcoin is a very attractive asset class for those young investors, especially younger investors who are willing to ride the volatility to tremendous gains. I love that last part, the volatility to tremendous gains, because that's basically what's happening in the cryptocurrency market. And of course, some financial experts think that it's just too volatile to be, a well trusted asset class. But of course, for investors like you and I'm assuming that whoever's watching or listening to this is actually an investor, or at least interested in investing or something of that nature. Surely you could say that this is a asset class worth investing, especially for those that truly understand the technology, right? And of course, there's some patchy crypto adoption in Europe. I think this mostly comes from the amount of regulations, policies, and laws that there are surrounding any kind of business, especially in the tech sector. And this tends to maybe, in my opinion, slow down progress, right? Technological progress in the UK. So one particularly striking result from the survey was about 20% of respondents claim that they do not know anything about Bitcoin, and an ING survey published in September showing nearly a quarter of UK residents believing that Bitcoin will eventually replace cash. Now, of course, these are people, around their normal ages, like not necessarily those that are in their retirement age. Just this is more like the general public, right? From maybe teenagers to like the young adults to, of course, professionals that are working, and those that are close to retirement. All right, and then both the ING and Crypto Radar surveys did reveal an apparent dearth of crypto education in the UK. This limited range of crypto awareness even extends to young, upwardly mobile professionals who usually form the core of global BTC adoption. This, for me, was very shocking. Why? I mean, for a country that's a huge economic powerhouse as well, with China, and not even a country, because UK is not a country, but basically for that group of countries there that formulate this one union called the United Kingdom, for them to not actually be so much in terms of be so much familiar with cryptocurrency, and just really the education lacking there really came to me as a surprise. I mean, just look now, China's app, there's a presidential app, my bad, there's a presidential app that China recently launched, and it even has some cryptocurrency and blockchain based courses. It offers such courses in there. It's promoting the technology basically. So in my opinion, I see this as an opportunity for crypto people to actually go there and create more awareness, to teach more people, so that to also help the country basically keep up with the current technological transformation that's taking place, right? And even though that's been happening, obviously there's always criticisms from certain experts, certain so-called financial experts, and fine, they can be experts, but when innovation comes, I think one should always put their expertness aside, right? So like here it says, while Bitcoin is a demographic megatrend in the US, the same cannot easily be said for their counterparts across the pond. In all, these surveys reinforce the patchy crypto adoption landscape that characterizes Europe. And yeah, currently it appears that Bitcoin appeals only ranks high in places like Turkey, where there are some economic struggles. Like I've said in one of the previous episodes, that for me, I feel like, or rather I believe that the technology, blockchain technology to be specific, is much more needed, or should actually be focused more in places that actually need it, places where there's low economic activity, where there's quite a high number of poverty and unemployment, because those people are the ones that are underbanked. They can't afford to pay banks or to open up bank accounts and sustain them with all these bank charges. And yeah, that's just my opinion on this, but I'm still super shocked about how the youth around the UK aren't really exposed to any sort of like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency education because of the lack. And I see that as an opportunity. But let me guys, or rather let you guys let me know, or let you guys know, come on, what am I trying to say here? Guys, let me know what you think on the comments. Let's have a chat. And I think I probably spoke too much. That's why now my tongue is twisting. But I'll catch you again on another episode of CIA. Cheers.